Welcome back, guys, to It's Not Daddy, It's Papa. We got it right this time. Don't even. I was listening back to one of the episodes, and you critiqued me for saying that we got it right this time for like the second time in a row.
This is the first time.
No, this is not the first
Oh, I'm
time.
just kidding.
This is
It's the
not the
wrong thing
first
now.
time. Speaking of wrong things, have you ever been added to a group chat about plans to bomb Yemen?
Dog, what the hell? I have not been.
Yeah, so there was a story about like being added to group chats, like, and this reporter got added to a group chat and they made plans to bomb Yemen in this group chat. Um and I just find that hilarious. It's so sad, but it's so funny. But it inspired me to look through my group chats last night when I found out about this story and be like, what group chats am I in? Am I in any group chats that like are talking about bombing Yemen? I'm in so many group chats, I don't even know.
I would hope that you're not.
I don't
I
think
would really
so,
hope that you're not.
but the texts in that group chat were funny. And you should read the article. But we've been in quite a few group chats. Some of them are great, some of them are not as great. What do you want to say about group chats? What's that?
I went through all my old group chats on Snapchat
When did you do this?
the other day.
It's so funny because I did it yesterday
It is
because of
really
the
funny.
article, and then you just did it randomly because
Yeah.
you felt like it,
The best thing to do, Snapchat has a save snap feature, so I was just going through all of them and
which is crazy.
I'm
The
like,
fact that you
what
could do
a
that.
weird world, like amount of lives that I've like if you go through, that's the beautiful thing about like a group chat, right? You could see the dynamics between all your old friends and how they've changed, and you could be psychopathic about it and look for trends and stuff that's moved. Oh,
You just ruined your tea. We have this friend. I'm gonna say have, but it's on the word is more like had. Um,
oh hell no.
I think you know what I'm talking about. And we have
Uh-huh.
this
I'm
group
like,
chat, and it's so funny because there's a lot of things saved in that group chat. If you scroll up to like one point, like you could see the group chat, and then you could see it slowly dying off, and you're just like, damn.
you could literally watch enthusiasm die as time goes on in these group chats. Um,
You know the group chat I'm referring to.
I do, but it's a trend that goes with every group chat or most.
Do you have any active group chats?
Not really, no.
We have one that we were just texting in
Oh, yes, with a friend of ours.
about like 20 minutes ago. But again, the issue of group chats is that
Most of
people
my
do,
group chats, though, are me, you, and one other person.
and the best thing is that we'll make plans outside the group chat
And
and
then,
also in the group chat.
so it's just like, it gets to be a point where it's like, I don't know. I don't have that. Like a traditional group chat includes some people you're close with, some people you're not so close with. You know, like, I
How
don't
many
have
people
that
make the perfect group chat?
five,
Five.
4 or 5, yeah.
Mm,
Any more than that is OD. Any less is,
yeah.
what's the word?
Not a group
Not
chat.
a group chat. It's a
Like
little,
all of our group chats are me, you, X person, me, you, X person. Like we
and I
have
wonder
one
why that is.
that's like me,
Do
you,
we have no
brother.
friends?
We don't.
We
mm,
don't really have friends. We know so many people,
we
but
know a
we
lot
don't
of
really
people.
have friends.
Well, my other thing is that like I don't want to be friends with a lot of people.
I don't want a lot of friends though.
Well, it's not even. I just like there's not that many people that I've looked at and been like, hey, I want you as a friend. You know,
Right.
like there's very few people that I'm just like I actually genuinely want to be friends with you versus like you're cool. You know,
It's mostly just you're right. You're cool.
like yeah, there's very few people, and I feel like the people. I don't know if this is the same for you. I feel like it's the same for you sometimes,
Mhm.
but like the people that I've found myself growing closer to are people that are older
Yeah,
lately,
yeah. Mid-20s
and
even.
I'm just like,
You can't really hang out with them the same
you
way.
can't hang out with them the same way. So it's like I would consider some of these people my friends, but at the same
There's
time, like
boundaries that
I'm
are in
not.
place that wouldn't be in place if you're the
Yeah,
same
you know,
age.
it's like I know someone that's like about to get married, and I'm pretty close friends with them, but like they're also about to get married. It's like it's a completely different stage of life. I'm like, it's
I'm dealing with that a little bit too, and I'm just like, shucks, my friends are they're older and it's different
yeah.
boundaries and it's different things and it's just like, I don't know.
It's
Some
just it's not a bad thing, but it's just like you're at like I'm at this point where it's like you meet a lot of people, but they're at so different points in life. Because
right.
like there's a certain point where like you cap out your friendships, you know? Like there's a certain point where it's like the only people you're gonna end up seeing are people at your work
Yes.
and then at your home and then your existing friends.
And then
And
that's
that's it.
that. Yes.
Because there's nowhere else. Like, how else? Where else are you gonna go to make friends? You know?
You're right. We were talking about this on another episode.
I'm just
About
afraid that
where
we're
did
reaching the capping point.
we have
You think so?
I'm terrified of it because I'm at a point in my life where I can't test new things.
Okay.
Because it's like when you're younger and you're around different circling people every day,
Mm-hmm.
you want to try something a little new with your
Yeah.
personality or what you're wearing. You get immediate feedback from some new Oh, that didn't
Yeah, this
work.
is
Fuck
great.
it.
This is
There's a
good.
new person in the corner to
Yeah.
go talk to. See what works there. When you have the same couple of friends, it's just like you kind of start to stagnate too.
Yeah.
Because the things that they deem acceptable and the things that they like about you are already set in stone. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And their values are gonna be their values. At a
Uh,
point like we're growing up now, my values are
yeah.
my values, yours are yours, the differing ones are the differing ones. And when you have values that differ with your friends
It gets
and
hard.
they don't have any room to grow anymore because you don't have other friends to go
Yeah.
share that, it's just you just start to become one conglomeration of a
Yeah.
being, and it just gets a little rough because you know,
There's a point where people become too like free spirited and free minded, where it's like I know too many people around me that will like accept anything I do. You know, it's like I'll change up something completely different today. They'll be like, "This is awesome," but we'll never say it's bad because to them, like anything is awesome. Like you know,
well, give me an example.
well, I know a lot of people that like do theater and whatnot, and like I have been like growing out a mustache, I've been wearing these like random leather pants, and not that I want anyone to say anything bad about any of the things, I don't. But
You're not even in a space where your new actions are
I'm like,
criticized.
yeah,
Is
like
that what it
no
is?
one's ever gonna criticize any of the
Like
actions because
that
they're so like free-minded and like they're just
doesn't it
like,
kind of
it's
suck?
like what?
Doesn't it suck a little bit? I could go to
Yes and
school,
no. Like I
like
don't
my
know.
class is in the weirdest outfit, no one will say a thing. And I'm kind of like, this fucking sucks. Like, I want to be held to some sort of social standard. But because everybody in my life is an intimate connection or some random, like, I know this guy type beat, there's
Hmm.
no like, oh, we're friends, but whatever. It's either coworker type dynamic
Uh-huh.
or my soul is yours and we're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm lacking a lot. I have a lot of extremes with my connections.
I
To the
just
point where it's either people who are cool with everything I do because they know me
yeah.
or people who don't care enough.
Well, all of these people like do care enough, but they just like they're so free-minded. I don't know how to explain it
Right.
to you
No, I get
that
it.
like they just accept anything. I'll go to school and it's like basically all the people I know are in one building and I'll walk through and I'll say hi to like 7,000 people because I know everyone that's in that building. But no one ever is like, maybe this doesn't work or whatever.
Right.
For oh, someone said something about like me trying to grow out the mustache, and I was like, yo, you could have just said something like please, even if it's not true, just say something negative. Please, I want to hear something negative about something that I do.
Right.
For once, like give me something.
Why is that?
What?
Why do you want the negative?
I just want something different.
You're so used to being told how amazing you
Yeah.
are that you want something different.
Not that. It's just like it's not
I had to clock you there.
it's not even like out of a narcissistic thing because I don't think that everything I do is right. It's just like I don't want people that like will consistently validate. I don't think that's
Helpful.
helpful. I want some people to be like, hey, maybe that's wrong. Like maybe you shouldn't do that.
Do you think that you create, and this is not me being this is like a genuine, I don't know the answer.
Hmm.
It's not rhetorical. Do you think that you create the type of presence where people feel like it's a good idea to criticize you and that you'll be receptive to it and that you won't fight too much on it? Because like, think about it. I don't really
Hmm.
criticize people that I feel like I already know the answers they want to hear. So like if there's somebody in my life that it's like they say they're open to criticism, but I know the second I say it, they're gonna be like, well, I actually it looks great. Or this, mustache is an
Uh-huh.
example. I'm not using you as an
Yeah.
example. I'm just saying, do you think people perceive you as the type of person to just be like, oh, fuck you, it looks great.
I don't think
And then
so
they
because I
don't even
think it's just
bother.
I think it's just like the community of people that I'm in. It's one of those things where it's like I hate it because I'm not that type of person. And I'll just say shit to people's faces and like some people get upset at it.
Right.
But like I went to go see a show and the show sucked. It was actually genuinely horrible. Like I was ready to kill
Which
myself.
show was it?
Um, I'm not gonna say it because I know too many. Actually, I mean, okay, no, I've told it to everyone, but like I went to go see a show at like a company I work at, and I was like, the acting is great, but I didn't like any. I thought it was horrible. No one understood what they were doing,
Oh,
whatever,
okay, yeah.
whatever. And I said that, to everyone. And everyone was like, what do you mean? This is so great. I'm like, guys, can we stop pretending that this was any sort of good? And then I
Right.
asked the actor, and she's like, I have no clue what the fuck I was saying. And I was like, I could fucking tell. In fact, probably everyone could tell, but everyone's just too damn nice. I'm like, you could say, like, I don't know. I think it has to do with like the idea that like you shouldn't be criticizing someone's art because art is subjective. It's like, yes, but to an extent, you
Hmm.
know? Like, this
It's
was bad, insane. Like, I wish, part of me wishes you were there to experience this, but part of me doesn't because I feel like you would have
save
picked
me
me
from
up
it.
back and
I
shot
would
me
have I would
because
have walked out. I
you
don't
would,
have patience for horrible
it was,
performances.
no, the performances were good. Like, it wasn't bad in terms of the performances. I think it was actually pretty well acted. It was just like, it makes no sense.
Right.
And it's like, yes, art is subjective, but there's an extent of which it is subjective. Like,
Well,
I don't know. I was watching this thing about this TikTok about like someone that just like bought a bunch of shit from IKEA and like put it up in an art gallery,
okay.
and people thought it was like high art, and he was like, I fooled people. And then someone said in the quote, someone like was quoted in the video, and they're like, well, just because it's IKEA doesn't mean it's not art. And I was like,
No, hell no. Get the fuck out of here with
and
that.
I was like, well, like I guess, but also like no, like it's not. Like there's a level of difference. There's like a I don't know.
A line to be drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
I
okay,
think we gotta start hating more.
we have to start hating
2025,
some.
start
Yes,
hating more.
hating more art. I mean, I'm participating in a 500 word
Hmm.
fiction
Yeah.
flash fic. Well, it's supposed to be flash fiction, but just like any type of fiction. And it's 500 words fiction. And like no diss, I don't think he'll watch this, but this one guy read his 500 word submission, and I made mine. I'm proud
Hmm.
of mine. Mine was weird, really weird. But again, it's like, what are you gonna do with 500 words? Make it not weird? Like it's
Yeah.
got to be weird.
It's yeah.
And I made my shit weird, and it's just like he fucking read his out loud, and it was the worst
Hmm.
thing I probably have ever heard. I'm
Hmm.
not kidding. In 500 words, that's the most damage you could do with 500 words. It was so bad. The dialogue was really corny and not even properly cited.
You
Cited is
should
not
know.
the word.
You
Uh,
shouldn't.
and no, I started laughing when he read it, and I was like, "Fuck, that's not the right thing to do to writers."
Hmm.
But listen, you could play like Sally Rooney is an author
Hmm.
who doesn't use quotation
Yeah.
marks for her thing. I have never even noticed because she's so seamless with it to the point where somebody pointed out once that Sally Rooney's writing does not use quotation marks, and I've read her shit, so I pulled open Normal People. I'm like, fuck, there's not a single quotation mark in this entire book.
Yeah.
But she's so talented that you get away with it. This guy fucking has his,
Yeah.
she said, and then there are quotation. It just
Uh-huh.
was poorly written, the
Yeah.
dialogue, and the story was horrible. And actually, I know the girl that he wrote the story about, and it was supposed to be fiction. And it's hilarious because I know him very vaguely, like outside
Hmm.
of writing, but I know enough about him through other people that when he's reading his fiction story, I'm like, oh, that's not
That's
fiction.
not fiction.
I know the girl that you're
Which
writing about, and he included Staten
I
Island, and I
think
was like,
that's fine. I think
yeah,
that's okay. I'm
mine
a fan of actually like self-insert
or
fiction. I think it
fictionizing
Yeah, I think
something.
it's
Yeah, I did that.
completely okay to dramatize a series of events,
Um,
you know,
yeah.
but that's a whole different story.
Hopefully, I win. I submitted my shit
Yeah. When do you find out?
next week.
I don't know why, but for the past like 4 months, people have been sending me like
Oh, they're writing.
like all their like writing, but like specifically plays to like look over. And I'm like, this is really cool, and I would love to be in the space to like be able to produce these plays and whatnot and put them up. But I've been giving people feedback on their writing, and my biggest piece of feedback has been like, just make it more interesting, dog. I did write a really fantastic thing that I really hope gets accepted for this short a theater company in Manhattan that it's their like 6 year anniversary, and they're doing like the genre is called like sex play, but it's like
Oh, okay.
it's like farces and
Sex play is
like
hilarious.
just like stuff that has to do about like affairs and like cheating on people and whatnot. So I wrote this play, and then I totally like didn't realize that I must have like copied 90% of it off of another play that I read recently and I
Oh,
saw.
it
And I was like,
happens.
wait, this is legitimately, I wrote this whole thing, and I'm like so proud of this. I'm like, this is so funny. This is amazing. Literally
So that
beat for
happens
beat
with
the same
every
shit.
single form of art, though. Sometimes I'll sit down to
It's
write a
just like
song,
yeah.
and then I'll listen to music. Months later, it'll hit me, and I'll hear the bridge of some random song that I forgot existed, and
Yo,
I'm
I
like,
got so
"Fuck, that's my
embarrassed.
chorus."
I got so embarrassed about it because I submitted it, and then I'm going through my tagged on Instagram, and the best thing is that this was a show that was like produced on Broadway. I made it this 10 minutes. This was a 2.5 hour play, but it's called The Cottage. It's about a sex cottage where it's like these people go to like have their like affairs at this cottage, and I'm looking through my tag because they tagged me because I left a review and they made a video based on my review that I left them.
Oh
Like
Lord.
3 years ago now. This it's a while. Like I've forgotten
Right.
about this. I don't even own a copy of it, I don't think. I've like never read the actual play, but I remember seeing it and it was just a really good, funny, like it's a really funny play about like this. And I'm like, yo, I accidentally just copied this whole 2.5 hour play and made it 10 minutes.
Is anybody gonna notice?
What I haven't what do you mean get a notice?
Even notice that you copied that though?
I don't know. It's
That's the
like a fairly,
thing.
it's like a
Or do
decently
you notice it
popular.
because you know what part of your mind you drew it from?
I
Because
think I know, like after seeing that, I realized it, but also like maybe on rereading it, it's different enough. Like it doesn't have the same name.
you might
It's
just
just the
see the
premise of like
similarities,
a
yeah.
sex cottage. Like that's like the premise of like it's a cottage that people go to that they
What's the
to have
adding?
affairs in of the sex cottage.
What's the adding?
That's a cottage up in Massachusetts.
Oh, I'm on my way.
Yeah. And like they take place during different times, but like the concept of like a house that the family owns that like they go to have affairs in that the other members of the family don't realize that they're also having other affairs in and they think they're the only ones that are doing it. And then they all like cross over on one weekend.
And do they
Like
all have
that's the
sex at the same
premise.
time?
No.
No, that would
But
be
they
cool.
all like cross over like they accidentally book the cottage all at the same time to all have their own affairs and they didn't realize that like the other people were doing the same thing. Who's calling you?
So in case that didn't come through the microphone, that was fake Wells Fargo asking if I could start if from their security department asking if I was attempting to start a new
Bank
bank account,
account.
which is hilarious because not even an hour ago I just said that I wanted to move switch banks,
Yes.
which is also petrifying because I did just make a bank call in a public space, which you should not do.
I don't
So I'm
think,
kind of questioning my security now. That's all.
no, I think what it is that
I'm probably fine.
you're fine. Like, did you ever try to bank with Wells Fargo?
Never in my life.
Yes, so you're fine. It's the spams. I get that all the time, and it's like, why? What the fuck? Like, how do you know my information?
They all know our names. It's so weird.
Yeah. So I found out the other day that 23andMe filed for bankruptcy.
What is that again?
The like genetic testing
Okay.
thing. But like what that means is that anyone can buy 23andMe now and get access to all the genetic information. And
See,
then I
all of our
realized
information, both it's so
I
horrible
know.
how easily everything is.
And what I realized is that like I opened the 23andMe account years ago.
Okay.
I don't even know the login to it. Like I can't even log into it to delete the data.
Right.
And I'm just like, yo, whoever if you're watching this podcast and you want to steal my genetic information, you could pay upwards of probably a few $1 billion to buy it from 23andMe. If you have that bread, not only should you give it to us, but you could also buy my genetic information. Have you ever used like an ancestry like database thing?
Incest is all that's in my family tree. I really don't need to pay somebody to find that one out.
But I've had to
Have
really
we told that story?
what?
Have we told that story?
I don't think so, but I don't know if you
I'm
want
gonna
to. We
make it
can.
quick, and then we got to get into art. I have a cousin that I didn't know was my cousin, and it
What happened?
turns out we have the same like grandmother or some shit, great grandmother. And yeah, no, I just didn't know that she was my cousin. I had no idea. I swear. That's that. That's the whole story.
Do we want to keep going? Like, do you want to
No, no,
explain it?
no, no, that's about it. Now this
I think
next,
you got to clarify the fact that you did nothing with this person.
that just like makes it not funny anymore.
No, I think it makes it saves you. Imagine like your future wife sees this and she's
You have a
like,
really great point.
like
To my future wife who sees this, I love you.
tell her that you did not do anything with your cousin.
I didn't do anything with my cousin. I had no sexual
Say hi to
relations
your
with that woman.
Say
These
hi to your
allegations
kids.
are false.
Imagine your kids watch this.
I fucking hope they don't. Those poor little guys, girls.
They thems.
I was gonna go there, and I was like, "Fuck." I remember they asked Sam Smith. We were in my music theory class. We were breaking down a Sam Smith song. The
Yo,
only thing I could
what?
think, yeah, we were breaking down the music theory of a Sam Smith song, and the only thing I could think of when they were like, "So you like fishing? You're a fisherman," and then the fucking interviewer got so tripped up because she was like, "Fisherman," and then he leans in, he goes, "Fisher them." Excuse me, it's actually it would be called an angler, I think. Is
Hmm.
the genderless term. However, an angler only goes for a certain type of fish, but we ignore that in our genderless language. We ignore that technically angler only applies to a certain type of fisherman. But if you are looking for the genderless term of a fisherman or woman, it would have to be, as incorrect as it is, it would be angler. Usually, grammatically, unfortunately, we like to pretend that English is better than a Romance language when it comes to not being a sexist or non-politically correct language. The worst language when it comes to not being politically correct is Italian because every word has a gender.
But isn't that Spanish? Isn't that like all of them?
In
That's why
Spanish,
it's
I
like
think
Latin X instead of like Latin Latino and
hmm
Latina.
hmm Yeah. But it's really like difficult, and that when I'm in my like
Mhm.
Italian class, I'm like, a lot of the students are like, but what's the genderless term for this? And I hate to break it to you, the whole point of the language
Yeah.
is understanding what gender gets assigned to which
Mhm.
item, and then what gets moved in what way.
But can't you just gender the item?
You have to do it to the whole sentence for it to make sense.
Like, can't I just like gender the cup
No,
versus gender the person
because
using the
the
cup?
subject determines the whole sentence in Italian. So like the ends of your letters change. Your all of the words have more, like every Italian word has at least five versions of itself.
So how do you like speak to a person that doesn't use he or she pronouns?
If you're speaking in Italian, you're gonna just piss them off.
Like you can.
There's really, it's very advanced to do it and not with 100% accuracy.
That's so strange. I feel like they haven't figured it
They
out.
found a way, I don't know it, but they found a way to do it. And from what I know, is it's
Because like
complicated
in
and it
Spanish,
kind
isn't
of
it just like
debunked the
using X?
language.
Like Spanish just
They
uses
can't do
like
that for every word because
X.
even like Italian word for beer is birra,
But that's
Birra.
already a gendered. Is that not already
It's
gendered
gendered, but when
female?
your sentence, it's gonna go with it. You know what I mean? The gender
But
of your
like, is there a
sentence.
male version of that?
No.
Okay, so the object is gendered, but not the person consuming. Like I could still drink a
Well,
female beer.
it would be you could do B, I think A also with an E, which would be E in Italian, but I'm not sure if it changes. I think by default, that's a bad example because I can't remember right now what the gender of a beer is, but birra is female. But no,
But I could like drink a female beer, right? Like it I don't like you wouldn't have to make the beer male for me to drink it.
no, you would be drinking it. Oh, I see
You
your
know?
point, which means that you could be them with the female beer, but
Like
it's
I
hard
don't
to
care
explain.
what
I
the
would need like
cup is.
a linguistics expert to explain what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
I
But
want
the
to
Romance
like know
languages are
more.
really, really fucked with that. Really difficult to do.
You know that one guy on TikTok that explains like languages?
No.
His name is Etymology Nerd. That's his
Oh,
title.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
He's like really weird, but like I want him to do a video about this. I feel like there's a solution.
With that being said,
He just
Dylan,
really wants to read this poem.
yeah, but it's by Dylan Thomas. I want to know what you think of it. It's called Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. Oh, he lived from 1914 to 1953, according to poets.org. Like
1914,
1914 to
53.
53.
For
That's a
some reason, I thought it was 1941 to 1953. I was like, yo,
motherfucker was dying
like,
writing this.
how old was he when he wrote this?
He was in the womb, actually. All right, he says, Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words have forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright, their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
What do you like about this poem?
It's fire. The point is, when something's coming to an end in your life, don't. It's like we're not weak here. You know what I mean? We're not just giving up, and you're gonna. There's a fierceness to letting go of things and doing things properly, and in this case, death,
Mm-hmm.
which I've been writing about a lot. Um, we're
Why have
not
you
too.
been writing about death a lot?
I knew you were gonna say that because when it came out loud, it sounded hella emo, and I was like, "That was the
It
most
sounds like you're
emo."
very suicidal. Are you okay?
Oh Lord, cut my life into pieces. Okay, I'll read what I wrote about it.
Okay.
One day, I'll wake up in a bedside on the coast of Toretta, and things will make sense. I'm not emo. I'm
Pause.
not
Where the
thinking about
fuck
that.
is Toretta?
Toretta is called. It means little tower. It's in Italy.
Okay.
I'll have returned home to a place that I've previously never been. I've never fucking
Okay.
been. An orange hole will form in Sicily's blue skies, obnoxiously
Your
pronounced.
t-shirt?
What t-shirt?
The orange one. The only
I
when,
said, oh, give them context before I
okay,
keep
the
reading.
only time whenever I hear you say orange, I just keep being reminded of when Mateo was at home. The only fucking thing he will ever snap me in is this
Oh,
big. It's this bright orange. It's obnoxiously orange shirt. And it stands out like a sore thumb in his whole room because his whole room is like, not that it's like plain, whatever. Like it's very like it's gonna sound bad, but it's like it's very clean and whatever.
it
And
just
then it's
is,
just like
yeah.
the shirt. Not that the shirt's dirty, it's just so different than everything else around it. And then you used to have on TikTok the profile picture that you have for the longest time. I think you still do on one of your accounts. It's just an orange.
My old email, actually, which
Yeah,
I don't even
your
know if you
old
have
email.
access
It's
to
still
that.
I
What the
do. I
fuck?
email you on that sometimes. I like forward you.
The fucker has my, that's
Shit.
the highest level of intimacy in a friendship is when they know your old email that you don't use anymore.
Yeah, and your
Uh,
thing is orange on there as well. Is orange like your favorite color? It's not,
I really like oranges and
but
orange
it's not
juice.
your
It
favorite.
was for a minute. My favorite color, as performatively um comfortably masculine as it sounds, is either purple. It's purple or pink. Performatively comfortably masculine. Okay, yeah, no, not suicidal at all, by the way.
No, I just
Yeah.
heard orange and need to go on that
But
tangent.
when I said
That's
that
so fun.
before, I'm so glad you brought it up because I felt my stomach drop. I'm like, I'm running my death. I'm like, oh, that was worded horribly. Thank God you made light of it because I was like, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Orange hole will form in Sicily's blue skies. Orange hole. Um, it sounds almost like the T-shirt has become like a
Like what?
I don't even want to know.
I
Obnoxious.
want to know what you were thinking. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say? Bro,
Oh fuck
you
that.
can't hide it now. If it's bad, we'll cut it.
We're not cutting dog. We're fucking for real. Okay, let me just read this. Obnoxiously
Can I
pronounced,
hear what it
almost
was?
intentionally juxtaposing how clear they are. The birds will begin to fly south against the current of the wind. Judas will follow them. This is so weird. The preacher will
Judith?
stand beside, yeah, will stand beside a guillotine, singing the words that have become
Judas or Icarus?
Judas, like the one who betrayed Jesus.
Okay. I no, you said birds, and I was like, wait,
Judas
birds
is
and
following
Judas.
the birds.
Yes, I heard birds, and I thought
Maybe
you
maybe
made
we could put
fly.
Icarus in here, and Judas can hold on to Icarus's fucking
Like,
foot and keep going. Um, the preacher will
right.
stand beside a guillotine, singing the words that have become so warped with time. Mountainside would begin to even out, leveling itself to my bedside. Distinct flashes of laughter and sorrow will visit me before I let them fly south with the birds. Finally, I'll find the key that's absence has been the catalyst for so much hatred. Tell me that's not heat. Like a
Yeah,
little round of applause. No, I'm fine.
that is actually really good. I actually really like that. I don't fuck the orange hole, but
The coal can become a different color. You can bleach it.
you heard Mateo, bleach your hole.
I'll close my eyes and I'll find the key that's absence has been the catalyst for so much hatred. What do you make of that one?
Who do you think? What is the source of your agony?
It's not my agony. This is human suffering. This has nothing. Also,
This is not personally you.
so this is a thing that
What is it
bothers
called?
me.
Like, what is your poem called?
This
Or
doesn't
you?
have a
Oh,
name.
you
It
don't
has
title them.
three other sister poems I'm not going to read. We don't have
Okay.
time.
You don't
But
title your work.
not always. Only if once I find a way for the three sister poems to become one with this, then
Hmm.
it'll get a title. But it's not done. They
Like
finish.
an
Sometimes they get
anthology.
titles years later. No, they'll become one poem, and the scraps will be shed.
Why don't you just make it like an anthology?
That's
Like
long as fuck to get one point across.
that's fine, bro. People write like. Did you have you ever been in a bookstore, dog?
No, I know.
People
I'm just
write
saying.
to just write
It's just
stuff.
nothing that sticks with time.
Nothing six of time.
Oh wow, goddamn. No, I didn't name this one. What were we getting at here? Oh, another thing
The
with
point.
poetry is you have to understand, really important to understand. It bothers me. The person, the author and the speaker are not the same.
Sometimes, but then sometimes in your poems, like they are, and that's the thing. It's like you bounce
Same thing
around.
with Shakespeare's sonnets. Some of them probably were him. Some of them he could be going through a different speaker. And that's why when people are like,
But I
this
want to
one's,
know. I
oh,
want to
this
know.
one, it's my own consciousness, but I think it's a human thing. I'm speaking for the human race.
It's like
I've I've given myself,
Mateo is speaking for all of humanity,
yes.
the
It's
speaker
just
of humanity, the conduit.
the conduit of all the powerful things. I basically the religious thing here, I'm just thinking about like the catalyst for hatred, like the point is when you die.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not with the emo theme, but when you die, my speaker here is like, there's got to be something ironic about whatever you find on the other side, because so many people have like killed people for like the sake of
Mm-hmm.
religion or gone into these like horrible
Yeah.
rabbit holes. We're all gonna find out eventually what's truth and what isn't. You know what I mean? So I just that's what I said. The find the key. That's absence has been the catalyst for so much hatred. Like not knowing has caused so much nonsense that I'm like, there is that
Yeah.
at the very least. While
I think
Sicily turns orange.
I think the scariest part about that
Mhm.
is like, what if nothing happens when you die?
Are
Like,
the
what if
kids
it's
are the
just
kids
over?
okay at home? You have Nikita talking about what nothing happens when you die
Like, what if it's
into a
just over?
microphone. Then it is, and that's then you don't
So
have
like you just nobody knows the truth. I don't know why, but I have this feeling
that nothing will happen.
that nothing. I don't know. I have this like gut feeling
Are you
that
okay?
it's just like that's it. I know it's more just like
No, that's a very common belief. That's one of the most common beliefs. I
I
understand it. I
I
get
think
it. I might share it. I don't know.
like for humanity to exist, there can't be any like there can't be anything after it. Like in the physical realm. Like in the physical realm, like there should like we're gonna die and there's gonna be something else that like becomes a predominant whatever. Like we're on this planet, like this
No, I know what you
universe
mean, but
for
at
a
the
little
same
bit.
interesting, like possibly, but there's also the belief that like this is a almost like a free trial.
But of what? That's the thing.
Your soul. Think about your consciousness. Do you think that like okay, you have eyes, a body, and I'm not really this is just me playing devil's advocate. I don't really have like that strong of opinions on this. But think about like your where is your consciousness in your body? Can you point to it? Your thoughts and your
Ideally, it
every
would be
no
like in my thoughts, but like
no no think about your brain your thoughts.
yeah,
I know I just said brain, which might have given away what you think what the answer
yeah.
would be.
Well, that's
But
what
your
I
thoughts, your feelings, all of it, can you point to a location in your body that they actually stem from?
I guess like I don't know like my first instinctual thought before you even said brain was like obviously
But
brain,
think
but
about it
like
right now. Is your brain actually housing your idea? Where are they coming from? What space of your brain are your thoughts hold? They're not. It's a separate entity.
but
I
that's
think
like
our souls are separate from our bodies, which is,
me. I don't know. It's like it's such a thing that's like no like
no one knows. No.
can't
You could
know.
just float ideas
And
around.
like if you ever are to find out, you wouldn't be Mateo when you find out.
That's what terrifies me. If there is something afterwards, but your connections are no longer your connections.
But like you're
Like
not
there's this idea, well,
there
God, like in traditional religions, marriage dies in heaven. You love the person, but they're not really your.
except like Mormons.
Well,
Mormons have like
unless
12
you're
wives
Mormon,
and
then
they like
watching this,
fucking
then
like go off into
and they
space
soak the
and like
bed.
that's the funniest fucking thing ever. It's so funny. Like
Soaking.
I don't know what about it, but it's hilarious. The concept is hilarious. Would you soak for me?
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah, I'd have to like blindfold, just for the sake of keeping like you don't there's certain parts of your friends you just don't want to see. So you
Like blindfold and earplugs, you would have to.
yeah, get my music on, you know what I mean?
Listen to some John Mayer.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. The concept is just crazy to me. How many people do you think like in the world have like done that?
Actively soaked?
Yeah.
Has to be thousands. I mean, every time I do
It has to
something
be millions.
every time I do something weird, I think about the fact that I'm not the first human to have done it.
Every time I do something weird, I go on Reddit and search it up and I find out that
It's
there's like
fucking there.
7 million people that have done this in the past like 20 years. And I'm like, guys, y'all are weird as fuck.
But you're the one who Googled it
I
and went on
know.
Reddit.
But
You're weird.
yes, but also they did it first. Do you think
Yeah.
there's ever a thing that you would have done first?
Yeah. Well, the
Like,
exact order of words that you've said in your life, you're the first person to have said them.
not
The exact
necessarily.
order of words that you've said
Not
today,
necess
you're probably the first person to have done them.
not necessarily.
No, not necessarily. Yes,
You know, it's like the
necessarily.
thing.
Yes, necessary. Yes, because
Have you ever heard of the experiment where
you
it's like the
live.
monkeys clacking on the keyboard? Eventually, because they're hitting random numbers or random
But
letters,
you're
they
not
will
hitting
eventually
random numbers.
write.
You are the first person because think about it. In your life, technology proves that wrong. Because in your lifetime, technology has been invented that didn't exist by the possible chance that somebody was repeating the other words that you've said. Also, think about how many different languages human beings speak. The amount of transitions between English and Russian and
Possibly.
MacBook Air, iPod, iPhone,
I
these are
know.
not things that have existed for long enough for another human being to have done that while simultaneously switching between the languages that you speak.
Do you think so?
I
I
know
don't know.
some. It's impossible.
Because it's like one of those things. There's this thought experiment. If you get one monkey to sit at a typewriter and randomly just fucking tap keys, eventually you will get the exact order of every single Shakespeare play in the way that he wrote them in the order that he wrote them chronologically.
Okay, over time though, that's millions of years of monkey typing.
Yeah, but so with one monkey, like there's a number, I don't remember how
Yo,
long,
fuck these
but it's
monkeys, bro.
honestly
They're
not
putting
even
a hand, like
it's really
wedge.
weird. It's not even that long. Like mathematically, it's not that long. And then if you make it an infinite amount of monkeys, it becomes like they'll be able to write it in like
Well, that's like
5
any
years.
other random number generator. Like
It's
you're gonna
so
get the
weird.
combination eventually.
Yeah, but it's
That's
such a
any
weird
random
thing.
generator. However, human beings are so different than random generators. Like the words you're saying are reactive to the world around you, which is unique to you. So
But I guess like a
it's not
human
you're using
personally would
random
like,
generators to think about your words. Your words are not randomly generated. The monkey tapping on the keyboard is randomly generated.
yeah, I don't know. I get what you mean.
You know what I
I
mean?
do
That,
get what you mean.
but you're probably the
But
first person that's done a lot of things. Like I'm thinking, like I don't know. What is it? Sometimes I do weird food combos, and I'm like, I know I'm the first person who took this exact brand of orange juice and put it on this exact type of Oreo.
there's just
Like
so
I
many
shouldn't have done that, but
there's
I,
just so many people in the world, you know?
yeah.
That's what's so terrifying is that there's so many people and you
How do you
never
cope?
know.
So I realized I was happier when I was like 15 because I
Uh-huh.
thought that I was unique.
But
And then I realized that there's so many men that think they're unique too, and it just makes them assholes, and they're
there's
no
so
better
many
than anybody else.
people that think
Yeah.
it's like think about it. There's so many humans that have been alive at one point in time.
Hmm.
You know, it's like you don't think that like there was one person that looked exactly like
And
you.
had the same experience as me. Probably pretty close, yeah.
Probably
Not
so.
the same, never the same, but
Never the
close.
you can't actually have the same because like they probably were not born anywhere near you. But like, there's probably someone that looks identical to you, like down to like you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
I don't know though. I also think it's crazy that we're so uniquely genetically made that that might not be truth. Because when there are two people that look identical, it goes in the news sometimes. It is so rare.
But that's because
Not
that's people
everybody has a
living
doppel. Not
now.
everybody has a
But that's
doppelganger.
people
Oh, you
living
mean
now. I mean
over?
like over all of
However, though,
time.
people have started developing differently throughout time to the point where even 100 years ago, our bone structures were different. So I don't know if that's true either. We're
I don't
constantly
know.
evolving to the point where
There's
we
no
are
way to
all unique.
fact check it, but like I feel like think about it. How many people there's at least like what 30 billion people that have ever been alive, like humans, at least.
That might be a stretch.
30, you think there's less?
Because we have 8 billion at the moment, and the population has gone up, up, and up every year to the point where 4 billion used to be the norm.
I
Yeah.
think it's about
If it's
the.
always been 8 billion, then I think you're, well,
It's not always been 8 billion.
no, I know, that's what I'm saying. If it was, then that would be
Yeah,
correct. It's probably less than 30 billion.
it's maybe less, but not. I think maybe
You
around
might be right.
20.
Actually, you might be right on
Maybe
with
around
that. Yeah.
20.
30.
I don't
Let's
know.
go.
It's
This
like
is more Google worthy.
yeah, this is Google worthy. I want to know
How many humans have been alive
how
almost?
many humans have ever lived. That's the question.
I mean, when I was,
108 billion people.
oh, hell no.
That's crazy. Wait, that was so much more than I
Well,
thought. It says about 117 here. 109.
that's counting like fucking Lucy.
No. That's counting like Neanderthals only.
Lucy
Like
was at what? What does she
like
count as? She doesn't
the
count as a
whatever
Neanderthal?
no, like whatever was before Neanderthals. I'm pretty
Those
sure.
she counts as a Neanderthal.
I think so. I don't
The
know.
things before us were like biped. What do you call it? Anything that's a biped is a Neanderthal, I think. Um,
This is crazy, bro. Yeah, they're starting at the agricultural revolution. That's where they're starting from in this count. There's so many things that are worth
well,
Googling.
I was thinking before about like
Okay.
how my mind can never fully be enlightened
I
to
always think
anything.
about
Like I'll
this.
never be the person that I fully want to be. There will always be situations I can't handle the way I want to handle. There will always be a way of living because I've realized like once a month that I'm living completely wrong.
Yep.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I was so off. I was focusing on the complete wrong things and everything was off. And then I had this really crazy feeling. I was like, oh, so what am I actually looking for? And it's enlightenment. And I'm like, every jerk off college student since the 1952 has been looking for enlightenment.
It's fucking Socrates, bro. He
And
died
then I
for
realized we've
enlightenment.
all been doing this. Everybody that lives does the same thing. And it was a little disheartening for a minute. I was like, wow, all my own emotional quests or that of every other person my age.
Is it though? Is it disheartening or is it something that brings you closer together?
No, it brings you once you put your ego down, it brings you closer
Like
together.
once you put aside the fact that like everyone has the same experiences, everyone has the same thoughts. You realize that you are a lot more human than like that's the thing that connects
It's
humans.
normal, yeah. I've always felt isolated because I've no offense to anybody else in the world. I do
Yes,
feel
offense.
full offense.
Full offense.
I feel like I'm more vocal about things that are like everybody else just lives
Hides.
with and hides. Like I'll have a feeling and I'm like, do y'all feel this too? And because everybody else accepts everything, like you know what it is? The only difference is not even vocalization, it's that most people just accept things as part of their humanity. I'm so insecure in my humanity that any little feeling I have is really big to me. So I'm like, do y'all feel this? Like why is the world not talking about this? And people will be like, oh, you mean this? Like this normal thing that I do every day that you just turned into this weird philosophical question? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, do you feel that? And then people do feel it. It's just they
Well,
don't say it out loud, and you forget sometimes that you're no different than anybody else. It's just you say it out loud.
a lot
I
of
don't.
people are afraid to vocalize it because it's like scared. Like it's scary. I don't know. I'm like fucking
Admitting that you're.
yeah. And people that think are like scary to an extent to a lot of other people.
I've always just
Think
felt
about it.
isolated with
Like
that. You know what I mean?
how many people have like been like how many people do you think like have been killed throughout history for like the idea of thinking?
Millions upon
Like
millions.
just the fact of like thinking. Like not even like
Because you would have to include everybody who's murdered because of religion or what religion they believed in.
no,
That's
I don't
thinking.
even mean like that. I mean
Oh,
like
you
for
mean
the
like
simple
goaded philosopher
yeah,
gets
and
killed for
like
being.
for the for like the fact that like you are the only person in your like village who decides to think.
Yeah,
You know, like how many people have been like the probably most famous one is like Socrates.
I was gonna say the most
Socrates,
famous one is. I mean, again, we keep going into religion too much.
who
I want to say Jesus. Historically, Catholicism aside,
yeah,
just him
historical
as the
Jesus.
historical Jesus as the person that he existed as
Yeah,
was the first most famous example.
yeah. Though Socrates is before Jesus.
What the fuck happened to Socrates?
Socrates,
And
he
yeah,
was put on trial for
oh,
like
they poisoned him, right?
no,
They
he was
ostracized him, poisoned him. What they do?
no, they killed him.
Yeah, how'd they kill him?
What? I don't
I think they
fucking
poisoned him. He
I
had to
don't
eat something poisoned, did he not?
no. Oh, what happened is they put him on trial for
Treason.
like no for like manipulating the youth. Like that's what he was tried
Oh,
for.
I remember this now because I used
For
to be obsessed with Greek
and
history.
like the Athenian court system made you like have to pick between punishments, and the punishment he picked for himself was like unlimited food and like housing and whatnot. And they were like, "Yo, no."
I think they poisoned his food though, is how they
I don't
executed
know.
him. I think he knew he was eating poison, but he
How did they kill
Socrates.
Socrates? I don't remember how they killed him, but oh, poisonous, poison.
Yeah.
You're right. But it's really there's a big painting about it in the Met. We should go to the Met. Um, there's a
We
painting.
went to MoMA, right? Okay, that's
We
why.
went to
I was gonna
MoMA.
say we went to a museum recently. I was like, we didn't do shit. Now we're talking about going there.
Well, because I feel like um
You
the
have to plan a museum trip.
yeah, and I feel like the Met is more interesting than MoMA.
MoMA's a little overrated, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he was charged with the corruption of the youth.
That's so fire. If I ever get
I want to
murdered,
get charged
oh,
corruption of the
bro, that's
youth.
so fucking fire. Let's talk about Greek ostracization.
Okay, we have to end this soon. Just FYI.
Let's talk about Greek ostracization.
Okay, go ahead.
When they didn't fuck with somebody, they literally just sent them away to an
I
isolated
love that.
and left them there. If you could
I fuck with
ostracize
that.
one person in our life, who would it be?
That's
For the
everyone.
people at home, who would you
Who
ostracize in
would
your
you
circle?
ostracize?
Who would you send to some random island? Um, I've yet to choose a person worth ostracizing.
Because there's no one that's like worth that. Oh yeah, he after he was found guilty, he proposed to be rewarded with free meals in the public dining hall.
He's goaded for that.
Because like you have to propose a like in Athenian tradition, you have to propose a penalty for your own crime.
That's so sick. The accountability that requires him.
And he was just like, you know, what my punishment will be? Free food for the rest of my life.
Because then he's like, who's to determine whether or not it's a punishment? That's a moral gray area.
Yeah, because that was the thing. It was like,
If you get to
yeah,
choose, then
I'm gonna choose that. And then they were like, nah, fuck
so
you.
then
And
they
they
just
poisoned
poisoned him.
him.
That's okay. That's they kind of ate.
He kind of ate,
He kind
bro.
of ate poison. I fear it's a wrap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we love you.
And anglers.
What?
And anglers. Anglers. Don't forget the
Oh,
anglers.
ladies, gentlemen,
Anglers.
anglers of all shapes and sizes, we love you. We miss you. We will see y'all next week. Bye bye. Send us shit to talk
All
about.
your friends, bro.
Oh, well, mail them to us. We'll put an address on screen right here. We'll put an address. It'll be right here, and you can mail your friend in a UPS package to us.
This just sounds like trafficking. Don't listen to anything he just said because I spaced
There will
out
be
and it
there will
sounded illegal.
be
So just leave it.
there will be an address over here. Please mail your friends to this address.
Please don't.
What if I put you in a box and mail you somewhere? Where would you want to be mailed to?
Abu Dhabi.
I'll mail you to Abu Dhabi.
Well,
Next
that's
week
so
we're gonna
good.
be in Abu Dhabi.
All right. Have a great week, folks.
Bye, folks.